Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show. I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Scott. What's up, Scott?
Hello.
All right, so we're back at full power. So my internet is no longer fakakta. I decided to dump what I had and rewire everything with a new freaking company so we don't have any more freaking issues where I can't check the news. I need to use phones. So you know what? We're back at full strength. So now you will see no longer will there be lag time with me getting the news or having to depend 100% on anybody. If I have to pull something up, we'll be able to talk about it. I'll be able to read on here. We're gonna have better casts. You're gonna have more casts. So we're back to normal. First thing I wanted to talk about was Joe came down with Bree, my son Joe, and his girlfriend Bree, and they took me to see Black Panther.
And you?
I gotta say that this movie is one of my new favorite movies of all time. Black Panther is very different. I didn't see it as a superhero movie. I saw it as like a cultural movie, like with feeling. It reminded me about The Lion King. It reminded me about different things.
Yeah.
More about the culture, about customs, and about history and these people. And they've built everything from the dirt up, and they were hidden from everyone. And I really respect all the actors and actresses. I thought that the performance was funny and placed perfectly at times. Wasn't too serious with the king stuff. I like the jokes, how she's like, all right, enough already with the ceremony. Okay, take this thing off. And people are like, hey, because it's ridiculous. And some of the stuff that they were doing were ridiculous. And there was nods and jokes to it. I thought Martin Freeman perfectly fit this movie. It wasn't they just threw him in this movie to throw him in. I thought that he is a great addition to this. I also loved the villain Claw, and I also loved Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
This was a great role for him, like Chronicle. I didn't like him in the friggin' Fantastic Four at all, but I loved him here, and I loved him in Creed. So I gotta say, I'm looking forward to seeing his future endeavors. I love the Black Panther himself. I loved everybody in this movie. I thought it was
the twin credit scenes.
I liked the fact, and spoilers everybody, that the Winter Soldier is now what, White Wolf? He's gonna be.
Wolf.
Yes, and I also like the Wakandan speech. Like they had told they revealed themselves to the UN, which I thought, you know what, you can't keep it a secret forever, so that's fine. But at the same time, they don't have to give all their secrets out.
No.
It's like, but there, that's what needs to be happening. So I really enjoyed the movie. I left the movie. I liked it a lot. Hey, what's up, Chris? I liked the Black Panther a million times more than I thought I would. I knew I was going to enjoy it, but I didn't know I was going to enjoy it this much. So I'm very excited and very happy that the Black Panther, it's in the can. Got to see it. Excellent movie. I highly recommend it. And now on to the Infinity War, which I'm very excited about. What's up, Chris? Hello, Chris.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
And another new thing is that I watched wrestling mostly the whole night. Monday Night Raw, which was interesting with my new cable service. So I was like just hooked and getting to know these characters. I don't know if I'm going to be sticking around every week, but pretty interesting stuff. Did you like the thing without talking about it too much? I mean, did you like wrestling tonight, Monday Night Raw? Or?
I thought it was all right.
Yeah.
They could have done a little bit better following Elimination Chamber. I do have to say, though, promo that Roman Reigns cut, which was apparently a shoot, was fantastic. I hope that he is able to do that more often because it was far better than a lot of the stuff that he normally does promo wise on Raw. So man, I thought his shoot was the best part of the show tonight.
Now, do you really think there's a need to make this show from 8 to 11? Right? Is
No.
it 8 to? No.
Yeah, there's no need. And even
This
even
is
Triple
like when they
H,
did it with Nitro. It sucked. after a
even
while.
Triple H has said that. He said it should go back to 2 hours. He said that on Austin's podcast, and I agree
Why
with him 100%.
can't they? Let me ask you a question. Why can't they do Raw 9 to 11, and then why can't they hit the podcast after that or something? Or
Well, there's
air,
always programming on the network. Always.
right, but, okay. So why can't they air? I mean, if they want to keep it at 3 hours, why don't they air another block of something to do with WWE on USA Network?
Well, they could do that. The issue, well, not really the issue, but the reason that they don't want to do that is USA loves WWE, as far as we know. They consistently get them good ratings usually, and the company makes apparently a huge amount of money because of the 3 hours with ad revenue and whatnot.
I see. So in other words, they want to keep
it. They are in no hurry, as far as I know, to make the show go to 2 hours.
So now that contract is going to be re-signed more than likely?
I'm assuming so.
Now, I mean, if you remember, they were with USA and then they left and then they went to that network that became Spike.
Yes.
But before it was Spike, it was like the national thing, right? Or something. And they built that channel from nothing. Just made it so popular just because they were on there, and then they left there back to USA, right?
Yeah, so, I personally think they're going to stay with USA. I know that there was a rumor that Triple H was meeting with people from Fox, and potentially they were going to go that route. I don't know. That could still happen, I guess. I personally think that they're going to stay with USA because right now the company is doing far better than apparently they ever have before.
Really?
And I mean, the stock is going through the roof. I mean,
wow.
It's ridiculous how good the stock is doing right now, apparently.
Wow.
And that network, I mean, they said it. If they get a certain amount of network subscribers and it's consistent, or even if they just get them, I'm not sure how exactly it works, but if they got a certain number of network subscribers, they would be making more money than they ever have.
Wow.
And it wouldn't even be by like a small margin, apparently. So I mean, it's just the amount of power that they have in the business right now. I mean, it's almost like a modern day monopoly. Like, you want to talk about how Disney owns entertainment, WWE owns professional wrestling. It's just like that.
There's nothing else.
There are other divisions,
but it's not that big. Yeah, no.
There are other promotions. Specifically, New Japan professional wrestling is very big, and it's starting to get very popular over here as well. But I mean, they've just got so much. They have so many resources, WWE, that they can pull guys in from all over the world, and who could blame them for wanting to go?
So basically, WWE's at full power, also.
Basically.
Yeah. Wow. So that's. I mean, I gotta tell you, I mean, I didn't know these characters, but certain things caught my eye.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to really go into details, like embarrassing myself, because I want to get familiar with these wrestlers first before I can even comment or talk about them. So I'm going to be watching Raw for the next couple of weeks.
Well, SmackDown's on tomorrow.
Okay. So. Now SmackDown is on USA also now? Or
yes.
No?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You didn't used to be, right? You used to be on.
Well, it was on Sci-Fi, but Sci-Fi is owned by the same company, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and now John Cena's going to SmackDown tomorrow as free agent.
Yeah, basically, he's still looking for a WrestleMania opponent.
Okay. Yeah, because he called out The Undertaker, but that's not happening, right?
Allegedly not.
Oh, okay. What's up, Vaughn? How are you? What's going on? Okay, so now Undertaker's retired still.
Well, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Now, is The Rock and Mick Foley going to team up against like Sheamus and the other? Like, is that what they're coming back? No, they're going to come back for Ronda Rousey.
No, nope. Kurt Angle is going to be her partner.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
But The Rock's not coming back for WrestleMania.
Apparently not, because I heard this story that the insurance companies that are with the production companies that he works with and whatnot, they were not too pleased that he got hurt the last time he wrestled. So they were like, yeah, no.
Wow.
So, and it wasn't a small injury either. Like he tore his abductor muscle.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah. So
Oh, so he may be done now. I mean, not that he's done.
he's
hurt.
healed now. He could wrestle.
Yeah, but
It's
they
just
don't
like-
want that because then they can't do movies.
Yeah, exactly. And
You know what's
personally,
funny news?
it might be unpopular to say, but there's nowhere for The Rock to really be on this card. They don't need him. They don't
Okay.
need him right now.
Okay. All right. So we got. We're gonna switch around to Henry Cavill, who his last appearance, right? Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, is in Shazam, right? They're gonna use that as his last
his
appearance.
mustache going to be in Shazam too.
I
No.
really have no idea, to be honest with you.
One more appearance left. Doesn't matter what it is, and so far it is they're choosing Shazam, and even if it's a little bit, it's still an appearance. So that's the weird contract. So now his contract's done. So he actually has been negotiating with them to extend it because I guess he believes too that if there's a Man of Steel 2, that would really jumpstart things, and I think so too.
I agree.
If they do a flat,
Not Flashpoint. I'm talking Man of Steel 2.
so I'm just saying, if they do Flashpoint, hopefully that will fix a little bit of the Superman stuff.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, we don't need a movie to fix.
I don't
things.
think they're going to touch anything in that
I know,
Flashpoint
that's
movie.
that thing.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think if they do, it all gets put back the way it was at the end.
Right.
Honestly.
It wouldn't be restored completely, which is a mess anyway. But all right, so Vaughn, do you think do you want to see like a Man of Steel 2, or you were not a fan of Man of Steel?
I don't care too much about that version of Superman. I'm a Christopher
Yeah.
Reeves person.
Yeah.
He didn't do nothing for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
You didn't see Black Panther, right?
yeah, I did.
Oh, you did.
Mhm.
Yes. You loved it, right?
Yeah, I loved it. It was good.
I gotta tell you, I really, really, really loved it, man. It was like
Mhm.
it was a great time too to spend. I mean, this is the first movie that my kid, as an adult, really took me to movies. So it's like it's like a nice family moment,
Yeah.
that like I've been taking the movies like when they were kids and everything, and now like my son Joe took me, and I was with his girlfriend, and we went to see the movie, and we had a really great day. We played PlayStation 4, which that's another part of why you've been seeing videos popping up on my YouTube channel, Matrix Lord 212 streaming video games. So I'm going to be getting a PS4 soon, within a month, and I'm going to be adding this addition to the channel. So I'm going to get to play games with Vaughn and everybody else, and it's going to be fun. Life's going to be fun again. Everything's going back to normal. I'm watching wrestling, playing video games. You know what? Life's too short. Do what I want to do like I used to. That's what's going to happen. So PS4 is on the way. We'll be doing that. Want to watch wrestling? Maybe we'll even go to the Madison Square Garden show. That'll be nice.
Nice.
Who knows?
I gotta see if Casey enjoyed the WrestleMania thing.
Yes. So it's all about doing stuff you enjoy doing. Then, of course, there is sometimes stuff that we experience in life, like shows that we don't like the direction that it's going.
Mm-hmm.
Like Walking Dead. There's positive and there's negative, and I got to tell you, for me, I figured it was going to be a jump the shark moment, and I figured with Walking Dead that it might get me to stop watching the show, and I got to tell you, there was no purpose to kill Carl. Spoilers, everybody. He shouldn't have died.
Yeah.
And I think the show is done. In fact, the stupid writing ability vision that they put calls like, oh, Dad, I think, you need to be caring about people, taking a chance on people. And then they showed a vision of Rick with Judith, and Judith runs over to the guy plowing the fields, and it's Negan. And he's like, hello there, darling. I'm like, what the F? You're going to invite him for cake and coffee. He killed Abraham, and he killed friggin' Glenn. And now this is what the writers want to do? Is like, oh, yeah, Colin
killed the show.
Negan chilling and having fun with them. I don't think so. And I think that the writers are on crack, and I think they lost it completely, jumped the shark. The show is done. My thing is, all right, and then you guys can talk, and I'll get this out of my chest. My thing is, Negan is a temporary. Because the reason why I call him a temporary, I call him a temporary, is because there's always a Walking Dead villain.
Mm-hmm.
And the villain is never meant to outlast his welcome. The villain comes on for a season or 2 or 3, and they're gone, and then there's a new
governor. And
governor comes in, he's gone. That's what I'm saying. Like, so he's not meant to be on the show. Now, of course, according to the comic, he's in there for a long time.
Yeah. Well, it's easy to do a comic because it's like they've got that thing planned out for a year.
But he's not. You don't kill Carl.
Judge how long it's going to be on.
Yeah, but you don't kill Carl for something like this. In fact, Carl shouldn't have died. Period. But what do you think, Scott? Should they have killed him?
No, it's asinine. I still think it was a dumb way for them to even kill him.
Carol didn't even get to say goodbye. Daryl didn't even really effing say anything goodbye. It's not believable. And the dialogue is, it's just ridiculous. I mean, yes, of course he's going to say, I love you, Dad, I love you, too. But, like, the whole episode, right? Angela Lincoln was, like, shaking. He was trying to talk. He was choked up. He couldn't even talk. You got a few words of dialogue out of him. It was ridiculous. And then they kept showing this other crap, flashbacks, and Morgan, and Ezekiel, and Carol. And, like, why you keep going back and forth and back? Who cares about that?
It's called We Don't Know How to Write. We need to
Stop
waste time.
Flashing. Stop going back in time. Go straight through. Don't zoom in on people's faces and play music. Like they have the straight face like this. And it's like, and it's like the views like this. The views, it's like, stop. I don't want to see
it's supposed to add
Morgan's eyeball this big on the screen. Okay, I don't want to see Carol's hair. I don't want to see Rick's beard up close. Stop it already. So I just want Walking Dead to get back to normal. Now, on to that. We saw Ash vs. Evil Dead.
I gotta watch that still. I forgot about that.
Fantastic. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Fantastic. Great direction. Happy about it. And now they had said something about if they were going to do a season 4, that they were going to try in the utmost way to get the rights to have Freddy and Jason in there fighting Ash in the series. Now, if they did some weird crossover where because of the Necronomicon it opened up worlds and he got to fight them, that would change the element of the show.
Well, we already know in the first movie, or second movie, Freddy's glove was in it. Of course,
Jason, right?
No, it was Freddy's glove. Freddy's glove was hanging up on the shack because one of the guys who did the movie inadvertently took it with them.
Right. Well, you know what? We're not going to really dwell too much on Ash vs. Evil Dead on here.
I know
that is the horror kiss. I just wanted to throw it in here a little bit. What I do want to talk about Chris with, right? Chris, this whole thing I saw posted about Luke Skywalker being married.
Yes.
Please talk to me about this.
So, I think that Last Jedi movie novel, which will be canon.
Why isn't it canon already?
Well, it is.
All right, it is.
It's not out yet. I think it's coming out soon. But like the Force Awakens novel, which is canon, there were things that happened in the novel that didn't happen in the movie. So, allegedly, one of the things that's going to be told in this The Last Jedi novel is that apparently Luke went back to Tatooine for a little while, and he apparently had a wife in the book. Now, we don't know who this is. I know a lot of people are automatically jumping to, it's Mara Jade, Mara Jade, Mara Jade, Mara Jade. We do not know who it is yet. We don't even know if she's Force sensitive.
Could it be Mara Jade? Because isn't Mara Jade a creation not of George Lucas but of someone else?
Yes. Now, of course, at the moment, Mara Jade is not canon.
Mm-hmm.
We also know that he was apparently on Tatooine for some reason. We don't know what that reason is.
Okay.
But, yes, apparently he had a wife, and that's all we know.
Okay, so I have to repeat this famous line from the movie in this voice. I have to do it. Ready? there is another Skywalker. I mean, like, basically, there could be, right? Another Skywalker?
Mm-hmm.
Potentially.
Probably not,
Why?
because I really don't think they're going that route.
But if the episodes are going to be about Skywalkers,
Then they have to introduce a whole new character.
well, let me explain to you this. How awesome would this be? Just picture this for a second, right? Not true, baby. Basically, could be that the whole direction of Episode 9 is they find out from the library in there that they saved that Luke had a wife and a kid, and inadvertently Kylo, through his connection with Rey, finds out that Luke had a wife and a kid.
Too much jumping the shark.
Wait, and Kylo Ren takes the Knights of Ren. They all head to Tatooine. It will take attention away from a weak resistance, and while the resistance are left alone completely, they will deal with all these people that didn't help them to build their forces back up to full strength.
I personally wouldn't like that.
But
No. Because then if you do that, it takes away all the stuff from Rey, and I'm not a big fan of that.
But here's the thing: why does it have to be?
You'd be building up the original Star Wars thing, which they're trying to get away from.
But they built up Rey. But why does it have to be that she is the only one, the main one? Why is there rules? Like, they keep changing rules.
Because she okay, so basically it would be like this, right? It would be like if in Return of the Jedi, they were like, oh, by the way, there's this other guy, let's go find him, and then he takes over and stops the Empire.
But isn't that what they've done with Rebels? Like,
no.
Isn't that there's other Jedi, there's other things?
There are other Jedi, but the cardinal rule of Rebels is that these guys don't get close to destroying the Empire. These guys don't get close to meeting Luke, except for Ezra, who shouldn't have. But he didn't even meet Luke. He didn't even know Luke. He doesn't even know Luke exists.
Okay. So they're just meant to die. Basically.
Not necessarily. They're meant to tell a story, which we do have to talk about.
Okay.
Because something pretty damn crazy, and when I mean crazy, I mean off the wall. How did this happen? What are you talking about crazy?
Compared to what you just told us when the guy died?
This isn't even close.
It's more?
Well, sort of. It's not as good as a moment, but
what happened?
It's okay. Hold on one second. Hold
on. We need a moment of silence because this is going to be some crazy stuff.
Looking up.
And don't ask us about Doctor Who stuff because we're not talking about that right now.
Well, let's mention Doctor Who because that kind of has a bearing on what we're about to talk about.
So go ahead.
So basically, I haven't seen the whole episode yet, but I have seen these parts. In the latest episode of Rebels, they are on Lothal still, which is this main planet in the show, and I'm gonna basically just get right to the point because me explaining the whole episode won't do anything. Basically, Ezra gets taken to like a space between spaces.
What?
Where a limbo.
Yeah, basically, it's sort of like that.
Is Agent Smith there?
No. Where he sees what happens during Ahsoka and Darth Vader's lightsaber duel that took place at the end of season 2.
Okay.
Now, if you haven't seen that scene, Ahsoka is fighting Vader.
Right.
And the temple that they're in, the Sith temple, closes before Ezra can see what happens. Now, at the end of the episode, we see Vader walking away, and we see Ahsoka walking into the temple a bit further. So she does survive, but we don't know how, we never knew how up until now. So as he's in this like space between spaces, he sees what's happening during the lightsaber duel. And just as Vader is about to kill her or possibly wound her, he grabs her from the duel and brings her into this like limbo reality, like gap between reality.
Wait,
Damn.
what?
Yeah.
That's a what?
A time
So-
travel Star Wars?
It's not time travel.
No,
It's not technically
it's
not.
limbo.
It's
No,
basically like
but this
being
is
limbo.
years. This is time after the thing last year.
Yes.
So it's time travel.
Somewhat. It's not
No, limbo is not.
Not
Okay.
necessarily.
No, but okay. Go ahead.
So he brings her there, and they're talking about how we could change things. We could potentially save Kanan. They start implementing things. We could save some of the Jedi. Maybe we could alter Order 66 potentially. But Ahsoka is basically like, you can't do this because in some way it's going to cause something very bad to happen. If we start changing things, we have no idea what could happen. And Kanan, his destiny was met. He did what he had to do. His time is over. And as they're in there, Palpatine shows up
What?
in his own like he's not inside the limbo, but he's trying to get in there. Because if he gets in there, he'll basically be like omnipotent.
Right, it'll alter everything.
Right. So he starts using what I'm assuming is the force ability known as Force Fire. That's what it looked like to me, which is basically like Force Lightning, except it's worse. It's literally like fire.
Okay.
So he tries to get in there. He can't get in there. The way I interpret it, it's like he's trying to replace Ezra being in there. Like if he pulls Ezra out, he can take his place. So
Could it be
Ezra,
that let me ask you a question. What are the odds that the Emperor could go in there and he could pull himself out of
you
Return
can't
of
go
the
in there
Jedi?
like that. He was trying to replace Ezra being in there with himself. So he can't get in there himself. Ezra's in there with Ahsoka.
Okay.
So you basically have to be like invited in almost.
Right.
You can't just get in yourself.
So he can't go and pluck himself out of time or nothing.
Yeah, no, exactly. So Ezra's talking to Ahsoka, and he's like, when you get back, come and find me. And she says, I will. And they both run to where they have to go. She goes back to the temple that he pulled her out of. He goes back to his time. They get there, and he's like, we got to close this portal. We got to close the gate to get into this place so that the Empire can't get in there. So this is a very risky thing that they're doing, introducing something like this, because it's like I don't know if they should have introduced something that could potentially alter the story, but at the same time, I'm not too worried about it because I'm pretty sure this is probably only going to be something that resides in the Rebels story. Like, it's still canon, but it's not going to have a bearing on Episode 9 or anything outside.
So they
of
can't
that.
pull Luke out of there and whatever. And
Yeah, I'm assuming not. However, what it does is it opens up this idea of what could they potentially do with this idea now in the canon of Star Wars.
They could alter everything,
Basically.
and that's not a good idea.
So what I'm thinking is, does this open up the door not to alter the main canon, but does this open up the door for stories that are like what if stories that they could do in the future?
Well, pluck Mace Windu out of the sky and bring him into the present.
Not like that. What I mean is they could use this idea and be like, what if this happened? Or what if Anakin was never burned, but he was still on the dark
But then
side?
you're altering the timeline now.
No. But what I'm saying is that you have this limbo idea. You could potentially use it to tell what if stories that don't alter.
Elseworld type things.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
I would be okay with that as long as it didn't alter the main timeline. I'd be all right with that.
I'm not okay with multiple Star Wars timelines. I just want there to be one timeline. because then
Well-
it gets too ridiculous.
I mean, you're always going to have that idea.
I know, but we have multiple timelines for Star Trek. We have multiple timelines for the AMCU. You know, there's multiple timelines probably for DC. Let's not have for Star Wars. But then you're going to start getting crazy, and then you're going to start making movies about stuff that people are going to lose their shit and get confused.
We have no idea. They might already be planning to do that. But from what I've seen, it was apparently a good episode, and the idea that they introduced is interesting, and it does have to do it goes back to characters that were introduced in Clone Wars, mainly the father, the son, and the daughter, which were like these Force-sensitive beings that were like, they weren't embodiments of the Force, but they were so in tune with the Force that they completely outclassed. Like,
let me ask you a question quickly before I forget. Darth Vader saw her get plucked out of the universe?
No, he didn't. And the way they did it was very clever. Is that, if I remember correctly, the temple was starting to collapse, and it was the energy source inside of it was becoming unstable, and he was more distracted with that. And then Ezra pulled Ahsoka out of there.
Then how the hell does the Emperor know about this stuff?
Well, the whole point that they were on Lothal was apparently to find this temple that allowed them to do this.
But technically, you're dealing with a power source that could make Emperor Palpatine at full power and prevent his death, or prevent the Empire's death. I mean, if they got their hands on it.
Basically, yeah.
But I titled the Everything Show Full Power. There you go.
There you go.
Psychic. All right. So, I mean, okay, but you know what? I don't know, man. That's kind of shaky to me. I don't know if I would want to have that potential with Star Wars and going in alternate universes where, like, Anakin never became Vader, or like,
well, I mean, that's just me speculating.
Vader never became burned.
I don't think.
I mean, if we erase Last Jedi at least? No.
Oh,
why? All right. Wishful thinking.
Because it's canon and it wasn't a bad movie.
So what if there was a Mandela effect that somebody actually traveled back in time to really alter Last Jedi and all this other stuff happened?
If they wanted to do it right,
figure it
with the sequel.
Well,
right.
I mean, if they went back in time and they altered the Last Jedi, right? So let's say they have Luke not go into exile. We don't have a movie because Luke destroys the First Order, and that's it. That's game. That's the game right there.
I mean,
there's no Episode 9.
Well, I mean, no, it doesn't. Luke doesn't, because Snoke doesn't die then.
But what is he gonna do?
I don't know.
What is he gonna throw his slippers at Luke? Like what?
I mean, go, Dala, go. Go, remember. No. All right. So there's that.
I still say that was not a puppet per se, just.
All right, so let me ask you this question, guys, off topic or something else. Cheetah is the new Wonder Woman 2 villain? Did you guys hear that? I mean, I'm familiar with the DC characters.
From Themyscira as well, or?
Cheetah's a very well-known villain of hers.
Yeah.
She is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well. So, I mean...
Well, no, I mean, scratch that. She is a villain that Wonder Woman does fight often. I shouldn't say she's, definitely a villain of hers, because she has fought other heroes.
And Sarah Paulson from American Horror Story really wants to be here.
That could be interesting.
Yeah,
I could see that, honestly.
Yes, me too. Although they said they were targeting Emma Stone, but she turned it down. No. Emma Stone turned it down already.
Thank you, Jesus.
She turned it down. All right. Now, what do you think about the Black Panther sequel? I mean, what are they going to bring Namor the Submariner in there and do Atlantis versus Wakanda type of thing?
That would be different.
Because that's what I heard they're thinking of doing, about two cultures fighting each other. And Atlantis is just as advanced as...
Did you just say two cults?
I said cultures.
Oh.
I said cults. No, I said cultures. Maybe Google edited me for television. But I said, cold,
Wakanda cult.
cold shores.
We are the Wakanda cult. We are the Atlantis cult.
Full power! Damn you! As Khan would say.
We've got tridents and vibraniums flying everywhere.
I know. Damn.
There was some
There
discussion.
won't be no air bubbles down there. No.
There was some discussion on another YouTuber show because they may do Craven and may have Storm in it, but that was just like
No.
their theory.
Storm
That was theory.
for another 2 years, and Craven showing that.
Craven's not gonna hunt this version of Spider-Man because if he did, Spider-Man would just cry again. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
Well,
don't hunt me! I don't want to be a mounted head on.
Ah! And then
Yeah.
the suit will talk to him like Surrey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anti-hunting mode activated.
I just want to see Namor in like Wakanda, like screaming "Imperious Rex," and then the girl making fun of him, like the sister.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
what the hell are you saying? Something like
Would he be wearing a Speedo?
who uses that word anymore? It's like have little wings on his feet. That would be hysterical.
I still think it's so funny how Namor is so much like than Aquaman. I would love to see them do that.
But Namor was
episode
technically.
here.
Wait a minute. Namor was technically before Aquaman in
Yeah.
the 30s. So he's first.
This is what I would
Aquaman
love to
is
see in
after.
Adult Swim. I really would love to see them do this. Of course, you know how they do the little parodies of superheroes. Aquaman comes in and notices that the emblem on the back of his chair changed, and then finally it's like Namor comes in, and every woman of the Justice League is liking him, and they're just looking at him like, "You're a douche, Arthur Curry. You're a whiny little douche."
Well, what are people saying about Aquaman? That they like it
Apparently, the test screenings have gone very well.
very well.
Did they serve sushi?
I don't know. I do want to talk about something else too. Unfortunately, we had some bad news over the weekend that Kevin Smith suffered a massive heart attack
Oh,
Yeah.
from like a clogged artery.
Oh, God.
We almost lost Kevin Smith. He
Oh, geez.
actually, in good spirits, took a picture of himself in the
yeah,
hospital.
I noticed that.
But it looked like a movie poster with him, and it looked like a comedy thing. But he actually almost died. He stated.
Yeah.
He tweeted, and I got to tell you, like, he's only 47, right? So he's not old at all. I mean, we're close in age. So I was like, oh my God, what the hell? And he said if he wouldn't have canceled his show, he would have been dead.
Oh, he must have been
So-
the face.
so I gotta tell you, I really hope he gets better. I had, really a speedy recovery. He's a genius and he's amazing. And I grew up watching his stuff, so I was hurt bad. I was like, oh my God. I was like, please let him be okay. So it's amazing. It's like stuff happens and it knocks you on your ass. Honestly, and even the news like that, certain things happen in your life, and it's like, oh boy. So, you have anything, Chris?
No, actually, I have to call it a night.
Okay.
So I will talk to you guys tomorrow.
All right, we're gonna get out. We're gonna end this for now. So, thank you guys. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye.